There is a fifth dimension beyond that which is known to man. It is a dimension as vast as space and as timeless as infinity. It is the middle ground between light and shadow, between science and superstition, and it lies between the pit of man's fears and the summit of his knowledge. This is the dimension of imagination. It is the area which we call the Twilight Zone. Hello everyone, and thank you for joining me on a Perezpective review, and today I'll be reviewing The Twilight Zone, Volume 1, The Way Out, written by J. Michael Straczynski, with art by Guiu, Vilanova, and I hope I'm saying that right. It is published by Dynamite Entertainment. Release date was June 18, 2014. Growing up, I loved the original Twilight Zone series. I saw it, I would watch it on Sci-Fi, I would watch it on pretty much any way I could find it, mostly on the holiday marathons that they have. Like I said, I'm a fan of the original series. I'm a fan of the revivals that followed in the 80s, and then actually in 2000s, early 2000s, there was another revival with Forest Whitaker as the host. I found this comic book in late 2014, and I was looking for a new comic book series to get into, but I didn't buy it, and I always wondered if it was a good read or not. So I went back and I picked up Volume 1, which collects issues 1 through 4 of the series. Now, the issues 1 through 4 collects a single story, and the rest of the series will have different stories as they go on. This story follows a Wall Street crook named Trevor Richmond, who is a man who made his money by making back deal investments and pretty much being a crook on Wall Street. He decides that he needs to leave his life because he says that it is no longer a challenge for him to be there, and he would like to seek out new challenges and a new life, pretty much get a new identity. To do this, he seeks out the help of a company called Expedited Services, who calls out his bluff and tells him that they know that the reason he wants to leave his life behind and change his identity is because he knows he is being investigated for all his crooked deals. Mr. Wilde, the person running Expedited Services, tells him that they can help him change everything about him. By taking a pill, he can change every bit of him from the inside out: blood type, eye color, skin, and his fingerprints. The cost? Mr. Wilde tells him that it'll cost him every single penny he has earned with his back deal Wall Street deals. Every single penny, and that anything he needs will be funneled to him as cash as he needs it from that moment on. In the end, Trevor decides to take the pill, but is unhappy because it doesn't seem to work. But slowly, he is starting to notice that his signature is different. His fingerprints are no longer being recognized, and even his dental records are changed. Overnight, he is transformed and placed in a new apartment, and Trevor is a new person with a new name. Thomas Riley. This is the new identity he's received from Expedited Services, and while he is getting used to his new life and enjoying himself back on Wall Street, his old employer is now being investigated, and with no one to put the blame on, they are now going after the company's CEO. Trevor Richmond, now Thomas Riley, is happy that he's been able to get away with his crimes and doesn't have to worry about anything because Expedited Services will take care of all his needs. Until one day he hears his voice on TV. How can Trevor Richmond be on TV, turning himself in when he is Trevor Richmond and the identity no longer exists? Trevor Prime now wants to know what is going on. Who is this new Trevor Richmond? Will the old Trevor find out what is going on? You'll have to find out by going and picking up this comic book and pretty much figure it out with Thomas, and as he looks for Mr. Wilde and tries to figure out what is his doppelganger doing and why he's taking over his life. I love this story. At first I was worried that it would not live up to the TV series, but I can definitely see this being a TV episode of the original series. Actually, the writer J. Michael Straczynski was a writer for the 1980s revival of the Twilight Zone. The art is great. It is in color. I kind of wonder what it would feel like to be able to see it in black and white and try to capture the feeling of the old original series. But I do love the artwork here. I recommend this series to anyone who loved the original series and just wants to read something different. Well, we'll leave it there, guys. Thank you very much for joining me on a Perezpective review of The Twilight Zone. Remember, you can catch me on YouTube, Twitter, Instagram, Snapchat, and on Facebook at Perezpective, as well as nerdfeed.com, where you can find all my videos and the videos of the Let's Chat team. And let me know what you guys think. If you guys read it, let me know what you thought of the series.